And welcome to a special edition of the Panther-Lair show. We've got a guest this week, and he's none other than 2023 defensive tackle commit Isaiah Neal. Isaiah, thanks so much for joining us. How you doing?
Thanks for having me. I'm doing very well, sir. How about yourself?
I'm good. I wanted to start off by saying, when I look on social media, I see Ghost. This is the nickname, right? Ghost. Now, is it just Ghost? Is it the Ghost? Is it Mr. Ghost? What's the nickname there?
It's really just Ghost. If you want to call me Mr. Ghost, I guess that's fine as well. I got it before the show Power. A lot of people, that's a real popular question that I get from that show. Nah, I actually got it my 6th grade year. It's not the best origin story, but it's original and it's me. I actually got it because I was the only light-skinned kid on a team full of darker kids. So they just started calling me Ghost because, they wear the white sheet.
And so that just and it just stuck, huh?
Yeah, and it's not a bad nickname as long as you don't know how I got it.
Yeah, I guess so. Now you attend St. Francis Academy in Baltimore there, but I know a lot of kids who go to St. Francis aren't from Baltimore. Where are you from originally? Where do you live?
I live in Washington, D.C.
Okay. So what's we were kind of talking about this before we got started. What's the setup? Do you live, like, do you commute every day or just like go for the weekends? You board there? What's the setup at St. Francis?
Yeah, so the unique thing about St. Francis is there's housing. We have 3 different, they're kind of dorms in a sense, but they're really just townhouses, and we have roommates, and I feel like that's what kind of makes us unique. I stay in one of the houses. I live in a Canton house with I actually live with my head coach, Coach Masai, and there's about 6 of us in there now. And I feel like it's a great experience because I get to spend time off the field with a lot of my teammates. So it just helps with bonding overall. And it also helps with gas because, the price is going up.
Yeah.
And it's about an hour drive from my from where I live, with my mom. So it's definitely convenient, and it's, it's one of few in the country at this level.
Right. Is it strict? They have a lot of rules like curfews and things like that, or?
Yeah, there's a curfew and everything. You're not supposed to be out. I think it's 10:30, but ain't really nothing to do where I live at anyway. So we be in the house chilling, watching movies with each other. I know it sounds cliche. It sounds like I'm making it up. We literally was in the house watching, I think, Candyman the other day, scary movie together. So, like I said, it's just huge to really bond. It's not super strict, but it's pretty much like living with your parents, and you don't want you doing nothing crazy. You ain't out late. If you have a car, you can have your car up there, but you have to, have it checked in and go through Coach Masai when it's time for you to use it and whatnot.
Gotcha. Now, how long have you been going to St. Francis?
I got there in January. This January that just passed. So I think that's about 6 months.
Yeah. Okay. So you haven't actually played a season with them yet, huh?
No, sir. I've only we had spring ball, which is another unique thing about our program, but I haven't suited up for the fall yet. Want to say, I can't say the schedule yet. We dropping the schedule soon, so I can't say the date. But
yeah,
coming up, this will be my first fall with the guys.
Okay. I know St. Francis always plays a good schedule, so I'm sure you'll have a good competition. Was that a big part of the reason you wanted to go there, to kind of play against high level competition?
It definitely was a part of it. I came from a good program as well. I came from Gonzaga and DC, and it's no slack, no knock on their program, but I just felt like I kind of want to be around a culture where I can have my job taken every day. I have to push. It's almost a college at the high school level. I cannot take days off because the guy behind me, the one next to me, is just as good, maybe even better than me. So the big reason was because of that culture. I wanted to come somewhere where I was pushed every day. And I know that everyone had a like mindset to want to go to that next level.
Does St. Francis ever play Gonzaga?
No, we don't play Gonzaga.
So you don't have to worry about that. You're not going to have to face your old teammates anytime soon, right?
Nah, no, sir. I wish we can get somebody in WCAC, but I don't think we have nobody on our schedule this year.
Gotcha. Well, obviously, Gonzaga is not a, like hidden school. A lot of people know about Gonzaga and recruit Gonzaga. When did the recruiting process really start for you? Was it high school? I mean, when did you first start hearing from colleges?
So my mom and my little league coach, there was like, I was nervous because being in the area I'm from, there's a lot of talent, and it's every year. So actually, Jason Moore was one of the guys. He started getting offers in the 9th grade, and I was nervous, like, oh man, I'm not getting none yet. And I played a lot my 9th grade year, but I didn't start. He was a starter. He was doing his thing, and it started to make me nervous. But I sat down with my mom and one of my little league coaches, and we kind of he just told us to relax. Like, I have time. So there was no need to panic. I ended up getting my first offer after so the COVID year was my sophomore year, but we ended up having a 5-game spring season. After that season, I got my first offer, and I'm pretty sure it was Syracuse.
Nice. Do you remember? I was going to actually ask you about that. Do you remember how it went down? Like, were they at your school? Like, how did you get that first offer?
Then there was nobody coming to schools and stuff because of COVID. Still, like, it was, kind of rampant. So, I was actually with my mom getting her hair done, and my head coach called me. He was like, all right, I'm gonna send you this link for a Zoom, and it's Syracuse. It's a school. So I didn't know, like, I was gonna get an offer or anything. I didn't know how it worked. I actually, being naive, I thought offers come in the mail. Like, I thought they send you the offer. So I got on the Zoom and sat, and they talked about the season a little bit, and they extended me my first offer, and I was ecstatic. I smile a lot. I'm a happy kid, so I was grinning from ear to ear on the Zoom, just like I am now, and they could see that.
Nice. Now, would that have been like last spring, like spring of 21 when that happened?
Yes, that was spring of 21. Yep.
Okay, so in about a year, you ended up with how many offers? What's your total number up to?
I think I'm at 22 right now.
Okay, that's not too bad. Was there a point where it really kind of took off and you started, like, they just all started piling up for you?
So after I got my first one, I think in a matter of, I want to say, I only got one offer during my junior season. So I had about 8 or 9 going into my junior season. So that summer going into my junior year, that's kind of when I got a lot of them. And then I came to St. Francis, and it just kind of took off. I went from having 9 to having 22 since I've been there.
That's a big jump. Now, last summer was when you could finally start taking visits again. Did you, like, hit the road and go see a lot of schools last summer, or how was it getting into that part of the recruiting process of visiting colleges?
Yeah, so my first time actually visiting Pitt was last summer, and it was as a team. So we had the 7-on-7 big man camp up there. I mean, that was really when I had already had the offer by then. So I kind of met with Coach Partridge for the first time in person, and really felt the vibe out of the place. I met with Coach Narduzzi and everything, and I liked it. Of course, I wouldn't be committed if I didn't. So we had that visit. I think we went to West Virginia and Penn State. All those were as a team. And then I think during the season, I went to a Maryland game and Ohio State game.
Okay. I was going to ask when Pitt got involved. Do you remember when you first heard from those guys?
Yeah, I think they were number 3. So it was early on. They didn't wait to, all right, this guy's got offers, I'm just gonna throw it to him. It was kind of they watched my 5-game season film. I think I had previously talked to them before they actually extended the offer. So I think they were pretty early on, about number 3 on my list.
Okay. So, it's really about a year from that time to the time you commit. How did that relationship build? Just was a lot of phone calls, a lot of, direct messages, Zooms, and that kind of thing. How did the relationship build over 12 months to get from getting the offer to the point when you committed?
I mean, it was a lot of phone calls. I mean, Pitt ain't just up the street, but I think I've been to Pitt 4 times, including my official visit. So I went up there for that camp. I went up there for a game, then I took an unofficial, and then my official. So not only was it phone calls with my guy, Coach Powell, he's a recruiter for our area. That's my guy. He's a running back coach. So once I get there, we'll still have our relationship, but we can't be as tight because, I'll be up on some running backs.
Right.
And of course with Coach Partridge, great guy, great resume. So I just kind of built it over the phone. And they connect a lot with my mom too, which is super important for me, being that I just live with my mom. It's like my best friend. So if my mom felt comfortable and they talked a lot, it was kind of like, all right, let's go up there a couple times. So I went up there 4 times, and then of course we had the phone calls, text messages, all the whole 9.
Like you mentioned, Coach Powell is kind of the guy you talk to. He's, your area recruiter, but on the visits, I'm sure you sat down with Coach Partridge a lot and watched film, and you watched him coach in the spring and all of that. How is that relationship? I mean, he's going to be your position coach, right? He's the guy you got to, you talk about a roommate. He's the guy you're basically going to live with as far as being in the film room. How's your relationship with him? And, what do you think of him as a coach?
My relationship with him is I feel like fantastic. It doesn't feel unauthentic. Like, it feels very like super genuine. Like, it doesn't feel like he's selling me a dream, because that is kind of what they're supposed to do, make me feel at home everywhere. But I don't know. The first time I met him, I kind of felt super familiar with him, and I can talk with him, laugh with him, and I feel like that's super important, because, like you said, I will be living in Pittsburgh for 3 to 5 years. So with that being said, I gotta have a good relationship with this guy I'll be seeing every day. If I hated his guts, I don't know how I would do it. But
Right.
he's a great dude. I mean, and his resume is tremendous. I'm talking about him as a person, but as a coach, he's also, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. The most persons in the ACC, I think, in the last 3 years were all Pitt guys. All guys going to get in the quarterback, and he schemes that up well. He's a coachable coach. I said that in another interview I had. He's willing to accept criticism. If I see a move and I'm like, Coach, and I try this move, I saw firsthand that he's available to take that in. He's not one of the old school guys that is just stuck in their way or no way. He's willing to take that in. And my official visit kind of sealed the deal, because I was able to really sit down with Kalijah Kancey. He plays in my position, All-American guy. He's a dog. And I got to talk to him about Coach Partridge. Is Coach Partridge selling me this dream? And when I get here, he's a different guy. And it was no doubt he was going to be that same guy that he was to me on an official visit. And he kind of told me a lot about him taking that criticism in, and being able to listen to his players and not just tell them what to do.
Right. Kalijah's an interesting guy. I mean, because he's a little bit of an undersized D tackle, right? But playmaking, you know what I mean? He's trying to get into the backfield. Is that what Coach Partridge told you he sees for you? Like when he showed you film of their defense, did he say this is the kind of stuff you can do too?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much, I got big shoes to fill. So, I mean, him and AD being smaller guys at the position, but they're kind of opening doors for guys like me. So I'm not the biggest, the most wide, big guy in the middle. I'm more of a twitchy, faster, but I'm willing. I in my head, I'm ready to go make those plays. Now it's going to take time, learning the playbook, getting in that college weight room, getting used to the speed of the game. But I'm pretty sure my job in the defense is to do what Kalijah, what AD did, all in the same time.
How big are you? What's your height and weight?
I'm about 6'3", 265 right now. That's pretty much what I play at as well.
Right. Now, you said about kind of what sealed the deal on your official visit as far as committing to Pitt. But going into that visit, did you already kind of feel like you were probably leaning that way? I mean, or was it really just a product of being there for those 3 days?
So Pitt was definitely the front runner of my recruitment, but I didn't go in thinking, all right, I'm going to go here and commit. That wasn't my plan at all. It was really being around the players, the players that are already there, and seeing how they reacted to, being around me, how they, interacted between each other. It was a family. And like I said, me having to live there for 3 to 5 years, I don't want to be with a bunch of guys that are like, it's a toxic, locker room. People don't get along. I saw none of that. I saw a whole bunch of guys from different positions, different areas of the country, getting along, brothers in a sense. And I'm not the only one who got that feeling. We had, I want to say, 5 other commits from my visit alone. I mean, it's overwhelmingly like a family.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't deny it. So I was supposed to wait till July 2nd. That's my mom's birthday. It was we had a whole cookout plan, and her party's gonna be all in one. And I was going to announce my decision after taking other visits, but I really just couldn't contain it anymore, and I had to just let it be known.
So if that was your mom's birthday, I mean, did you have to clear it with her first? Be like, hey, mom, I'm going to do it now. I'm not going to wait till July 2nd. Did you have to get her to sign off?
That was exactly what happened. So I kind of had the feeling. I told my mom, all right, mom, this is probably where I'm going to go. But I didn't know if I was going to wait to announce it or say it. So we were at the last dinner that we had with everybody there, players, coaches, and all the families of the incoming recruits. And actually, Shadarian, he committed right before me, and I started to get goosebumps. I'm like, this is me. This is what I'm supposed to be doing as well. So I looked at my mom. She told me to come here. I said, Mom, can I do it? She said, go right ahead. So I did it. You know, she cried like a baby, but I mean, it's still, I still feel as though I made the right decision. I didn't want to have to go to the other visits and kind of be like sold on something else like that. That's where I wanted to be. I got the feeling I needed to get, and like I said, I've been there 4 times. I see pretty much everything you can see. So I got that vibe that I needed, and I made my decision.
I was going to ask you about that Friday night dinner at Heinz Field. It seems like 3 or 4 guys committed that night. I mean, what was the scene like? Was it just like a party? Because just guys committing one after another after another?
I can actually picture Coach Narduzzi's face in my head. So Shadarian committed right before me. People go crazy. People jumping around, or, the players jumping around, coaches going crazy. I went to ask my mom. She gave me the go ahead. I say, can I have a mic? Because, we're committing over the mic. So
yeah, Coach
Narduzzi's face is just, he's like a statue. His eyebrows go up, his glasses get the fog, and he's getting hot. It's like he's losing his mind. So I announced mine, and then one other person announced it after me, Kenny Johnson. He committed right after me.
Right.
He was like, he got the mic after me, and Coach Narduzzi didn't know what to do. He was just kind of shell shocked because, I wasn't planning on committing. I hadn't told Coach Narduzzi, like, all right, I'm gonna commit at the dinner. He just was, everybody was going with the flow. So it was kind of crazy. It was, in a sense, kind of a party. Everybody jumping around. The music got the plan after, and it was definitely a great night, great experience.
Nice. All right, Isaiah, last one then, kind of, moving forward. I see you kind of interacting with other recruits on social media. Are you trying to recruit other guys, and who are you trying to get into this class? Who are some of the targets you've been trying to work on to get into this recruiting class for Pitt?
I'm definitely trying to get some guys. I'm at where I'm at right now, St. Francis. I'm surrounded with some of the best in the country, and I want to continue that. I want to go into the next level and have one of the best classes, whether it's ranked on whatever they rank the recruiting classes. I don't care about that. I want guys around me, whether that's guys that is 5-star, 3-star. It don't matter to me. I'm a 3-star player, and I feel like I'm better than some 5-star players, but it's okay. I'm going to play ball regardless. And I want guys with the same mindset. So I've been mainly focused on O-linemen in particular, because we're nothing without an O-line, and that's at any level of football. So I've really been focused on O-linemen. Big Stanton, he was on the official with me. He took a couple more, but I kind of been in his ear trying to. He said he felt this same family vibe as me, so hopefully he'll come join the family at Pitt.
Right. All right, Isaiah. Well, hey, man, I appreciate your time so much. It's been great to catch up with you, and hearing about your story has definitely been fun. But have a great rest of the summer. Have a great season. We'll definitely keep an eye on you, and thanks again for your time.
All right. Thank you for having me.